everyone. This is Margaret Manning with 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. And my guest today is Arian Poole. Arian is a professional makeup artist, but today we're talking about what complements makeup, which is great skincare. And hi Arian, welcome.
Hi there. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you already before we even start, because if you put great makeup on not great taken care of skin, then you're not going to get a great look.
Absolutely.
So, the two do go hand in hand.
Well, we've talked about this actually in another video, that there's like a whole group of things that work together to really have great skin. I mean, products are one thing, but nutrition is another, exercise.
Yep.
But today, I wanted to thank one of our community members, Carol, and I think there's another lady, Heather, who's asked some questions.
Heather, I just seen an email that Heather sent through to me, and she's asking about moisturizer. So I'd love to address that one as well.
Fantastic. Well, the first thing that Carol asked about, and lots of people have asked about, is dry skin.
Yeah.
Dry, rough skin, and especially in climates where we have air heating and
air
dry air conditioning.
The whole thing.
Yeah. So she said, how do you choose a product, a moisturizing product for dry skin? I mean, do you naturally go to oils, or are there certain moisturizers? What would you suggest?
Well, the main thing with dry skin is that, you can use a moisturizer of whatever kind of you want. But the thing is, what you need to do is get rid of the dry skin. So what I would suggest is using a little bit of coconut oil that you've warmed up, so it's like where it's liquidy. Yeah, so it's liquidy, and rubbing that on your face. Then taking a damp face flannel, those kind of terry towel face flannel, damp it, squidge it out so you've got the texture, and then massage that on your skin.
Right,
and that works. A miracle. I'm not kidding. It is so good. My youngest daughter has psoriasis and seborrhea on her face here, and we do that, and it just smooths her skin completely. Because what happens is if you've got dry skin, the moisturizer, whatever you're putting on it, can't penetrate. So it just sits on the surface, and your skin still is dry. So you think, I've put all this moisturizer on. Why isn't this working? Well, it can't get through the barrier, which is the dry skin. So you need to get rid of the dry skin, but do it in a gentle way. Because if you use some of those ones that are like real scrubs, they're a little bit too aggressive.
Abrasive,
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Coconut oil I've discovered a while ago too. I mean, I use it for my skin, and I'm actually quite lucky because I have dry skin, so it's perfect for me. But what about someone that has oily skin?
Funnily enough, coconut oil can work on oily skin and dry skin. It is one of those kind of miracle products that they're now discovering. They're discovering so much stuff about it. But even if you had an oily complexion, I love it for eye makeup, to take eye makeup off. It will even take off waterproof. So, but in such a gentle way that you're not like this with that kind of film and that stickiness or that stinginess or anything like that. But the whole thing with doing with a gentle face flannel is absolutely fantastic. You'll come away and your skin will just feel amazing. It will feel so good.
Yeah, I actually am a firm believer in coconut oil too. Are there any other products you'd recommend though?
Well, there's a couple of things. I have just tried a collagen face wash by Balance Me. I'm converted. It's now my go-to, my favorite one. It has got this wonderful softness afterwards as well. It's a cream cleanser. You massage it onto your face, and then you use a face flannel to wash it off. They supply one with the product, and your skin feels amazing. And I'm just kind of hoping that the collagen also goes in a little bit to the skin, but I don't know if it does or not. Who knows? If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. My skin feels great afterwards. And we were talking about how you have to feel your skin, you have to feel good. If it feels tight or taut or like you can't move or uncomfortable or stingy, you should not be using that product.
What about olive oil?
Olive oil is a great one as well. Yeah. Olive oil tends to be a little bit heavier than coconut oil. Coconut oil has a much more light feel to it, but you could use olive oil. And I used to do, I still do actually, I don't used to, a little bit of brown sugar and olive oil mixed together, not salt, and I use it as a body scrub.
Right.
And your skin feels, lovely. The reason why I don't use salt, I tried it with salt one time, and I didn't realize I had like a little nick on my leg, and the old adage, salt in a wound. Oh my gosh, I was leaping around the bathroom going,
Well, this is a good advice, important safety tip, no salt in olive oil. But, what about, Carol asked about whether you can use products like retinol, or she uses tretinoin, alpha hydroxy oils, liquid versions of vitamin A and C. She asked about that in the context of dry skin as well.
Vitamin C, I've got a vitamin C oil that I use, especially when my skin is feeling yuck. And I put it on, and it's a bit sticky to sleep in. But the next morning, boy, oh boy, does my skin look good.
So you think that those are actually quite good temporary? She asked the question, and throughout her questions about, is it permanent or temporary? And I think what we have to say here is that, it's hard to measure.
Everything is temporary.
Exactly.
Because we evolve. Yeah. So every day is different. So one day, and when people say, I stick to this very rigid skincare routine, I actually don't. I sometimes use the Balance Me. Sometimes I'll use the coconut oil, depending on how my skin's feeling. You are the only one that knows how your skin's feeling. So you might want to have a couple of things that you use. Like I say, I use the Balance Me. I use the coconut oil. I use an Estee Lauder pomegranate sort of skin freshener. I use different things depending on how my skin is reacting and how I'm feeling and what the weather is like. And recently we've had kind of hot, humidy kind of days. I've cut back on the moisturizer because it's making my skin too greasy, and it doesn't feel good, and it's not holding the makeup on well. So I'm reining that back. But come winter months, oh my gosh, I would be slathering that stuff on because it's needed.
So Heather asked the question, I think you said, about makeup, putting makeup on after you've used a coconut oil or an oily product.
Well,
Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, what she was asking me is that she was wondering about how makeup sometimes will peel on your face. I think that was the question. She said she'd seen somewhere that an oil-based foundation should go with an oil-based moisturizer, and an oil-free moisturizer should go with an oil-free foundation. Now, what they're talking about oil in most things when they say it's oil-free, they're talking about mineral oil-free, because mineral oils aren't great in anything. So that's what they're talking about, oil-free. It still has that hydrating property. And so I would say, no matter what, an oil-free moisturizer will go great with any kind of foundation. It really shouldn't matter. You don't need to put the two oils together, because if you have something that, most times they're talking about mineral oil, and really you don't want to have a mineral oil in your makeup.
It doesn't even sound nice.
No, we try to avoid all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, dry, rough skin I think we've dealt with. What about really just the condition of your skin once you've removed that dry skin? And she asked about microdermabrasion and those types of devices. What do you think about those?
It depends on if you've got microdermabrasion is great if you have got pigmentation, if you've got pitting, if you've had acne or something like that. But mild microdermabrasion, which you can do at home, is really good. I use these Origin pads, which are fantastic, and they feel really scratchy when you're using them, and you think, ooh, it's going to hurt. But actually they don't. And I do my neck as well, because I think you get here, and I was saying before, you want to be able to make sure the moisturizer can penetrate. If you've got dead skin cells sitting there, you can, and our skin, as we get older, it turns over slower. So our skin becomes thicker, and we don't get that moisturizer being absorbed the way it should do. So by using that, I'd say maybe like once a week or something like that, or maybe once every 2 weeks. You don't do it every single day. You don't need it every day.
That's a really good point. I hadn't actually really thought about that. That in order for these products with good ingredients to penetrate your skin has to be clear. So using even a very light scrub, like a almond or what's another product that
or even a face flannel. I'm a
just
big
rough, something rough. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be really rough. Like I said, like a face flannel is really a good one to use.
No one's going to know what flannel means. That's an English word, isn't it? Face cloth.
Face cloth, okay, yeah.
I know, I say flannel too because we're both from the UK, so face cloth.
Face cloth, yeah.
So that's great. So I guess the answer to Carol there is there's no magic wands, right? This is just a matter of plain and simple good diet and keeping your skin clean and getting rid of that rough, dry skin.
And try, Carol, if you're concerned about dry, rough skin, try what I said by using the coconut oil with a face cloth.
Okay, got it. How about large pores? We've tried this salicylic acid, which is a product I think that helps with, I guess, to dry up large pores.
It kind of shrinks
them.
But shrinks them temporarily. Okay, so it's like putting a Band-Aid over something, which, hey, for short-term use, absolutely very, very good. It's not going to get rid of the open pores, because what's happened is once the pores have been stretched, they don't suck back, especially as we've gotten older. So it's a process that we've gone through.
Okay.
And I spoke to a beauty expert, a skincare expert, and she said it's because you've got lazy skin pores. That's what happens. They get lazy, and
they just sort of hang out there.
They just hang out.
But I think that what you said,
all of it. But all of our things, because I notice like bits of my skin that sag a little bit more than others. Around my knees and stuff like that. And that's what it is. It's just it doesn't have that tightness. So things like that can help. Okay. And there's also pore perfecting primer things that can help. There's lots of those on the market. And if you're going to use it in combination with skincare, then I would say if you're going to use a pore perfecting product, pat it on first after you've done your moisturizer, if you're going to use a moisturizer, and then do it again a little bit after you've done your colored product, like your tinted moisturizer or foundation.
Okay, over top of that. Yeah. Okay.
You need a two-pronged approach on that one.
Okay, that's cool. So I think that what you've said is that for temporary, for having a picture taken, for example, or if you're going out somewhere, it's worth maybe trying some of these.
It will help to a certain extent. It won't get rid of, and I don't want people to think, oh, I'm going to use this and it's going to get rid of. It's not going to get rid of. It will improve, but not get rid of.
And what is this salicylic acid product that she mentions? Is that
you can get that pretty well anywhere. They sell that pretty well anywhere.
It's just a lotion. It's like a serum.
Yeah, a lot of people use it when they have acne or spots and things like that, and it just helps with that
temporarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it'll dry up the spots and things like that really well.
Yeah. But it doesn't. But large pores are pretty much where they are. Yeah. Okay. The last thing in terms of skin issues is lips, vertical lip lines. Yes. Or just dry lips in general. What's your thought on that?
Well, the vertical lip lines, I used to always think it would be somebody that was a smoker. And I remember doing a lady's makeup, and I said, about her lip lines. And I said, have you recently, because she didn't smell of smoke or anything like that. And she didn't appear to be a smoker. She said, I've never smoked in my life. And then I watched what she does. And when she's looking at herself in the mirror, she does this.
Wow, she over the years has just created.
And she pouts, and she does like that. She purses her lips. So you and I might have that because we purse our lips or we pout or we do something. It's not necessarily because we've been smoking a cigarette. So what I used on her, I used an eye cream. And the eye cream did what it would do underneath the eye.
Because it's nice and creamy and thick.
Yeah, and it smoothed out the fine lines. She was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. How did that happen? But it just kind of smoothed it out, and it smoothed it. So I used it there, and I used it across there. Who would have thought? Definitely not me. I did it by instinct. I just thought, I've got to use something, and it has to be rich. And it has to be richer than I would do on the face, because that's obviously not working. And it worked.
Yeah, I think that some people tend to put Vaseline or just some kind of an oil, like those kind of creamy products. But then it just feels like so sticky. And I know when I've had chapped lips, I've put Vaseline on. But
yes. But what you're trying to do is here with that, it's a different kind of texture of skin. But what I would say, try your eye cream. If you've got a great eye cream that you love, you don't have to invest in anything else. Just try that and see how you get on. It's very interesting.
Great. Well, the Oracle Arian speaks on lip lines. It's great. It's fantastic.
Well, it was by doing it myself, and I was like, wow, this has really worked. This is really good.
Well, that's what I love about you, actually, Erin. You actually pay attention to your clients, and you learn from their situations. And I know that that's how you learned the secret of concealer. But that's for another video.
Yeah. No, it is. You learn by listening and watching and looking and being interested in their concerns. I am genuinely interested in what they want me to fix. Oh, I don't dismiss it. I think, okay, let's see how we can do this. There's always a solution. There's always a solution.
Well, look, I invite
unconventional, but whatever.
Well, usually, I'm really grateful that for your time. I know this has been a difficult topic to talk about sometimes because women want some answers like, what product do I buy? What specifically can I help? And we're just not going to give you that because everyone's skin is different. Every product is different. We're not supporting any particular product. So
I'll tell you
just advice.
A very quick little story. I was recommended this fantastic product that's available here in the UK and it's in the US. It's organic, it's wonderful and everything. It's this skin freshener. It's got vitamin C in it. It's supposed to be just like the be all and end all. All my friends were raving about it. I put it on and my face felt like it was on fire. I looked like I had like second-degree burns. It was blistering and everything. I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. And it just goes to show what works on one person does not necessarily work on another person. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean I'm asking your community to go out there and spend loads and loads of money. Bring it back, keep it simple, and just kind of check out things and see if you can test it before you actually go out and buy it because it's hard.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think the general advice is great, and I'm pleased if you've got questions and comments, leave them in the section below, and we'll do our best to respond and do another video to get back to you on your specific issues. So, thanks again, Arian. It's always wonderful to chat with you.